Well, let's speak now to Annie Naqvi, a survivor of the tsunami, who's written a book about her experience of being on the east coast of Sri Lanka when it hit. Good afternoon to you, and thanks again, Annie, for joining us to speak to us on what is such a significant day for you and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of others around the world. Let's start, Annie. I know this for you, you really tried to turn things around, and it was a defining moment in your life, this tsunami, as it has been for many. But start by describing to our viewers your experience on that day, briefly, if you will.
Of course. I was fast asleep in my hut that was near the beach on the Boxing Day when the tsunami hit. So the first that became aware of it was when the door to my hut flung open and water began to flood into the hut. In the split second, it took me to think, oh my gosh, my passport, I was actually underwater and drowning and fighting for my life with no clue as to what's happened, no light in the room. The water was black and a thunderhouse and powerhouse of water just steaming into the room. And I can only describe it as being like a grain of rice in a washing machine, because that's how insignificant you felt during that tsunami and how powerless you actually were. Everything that was in the room became a missile and was bashing into me. And yeah, it was the first time that I thought I was going to die. And one of the really resounding thoughts that I had in that moment was, I can't believe I'm going to die and I haven't even truly lived. And
And Annie, that moment, yeah, eventually you managed to hold on to a tree, and I know there were many moments after that as well. But I mentioned it was a defining moment for you because you decided to really try and turn your life around and turn it into something positive, which many of the people we've spoken to today have tried their best to do.
yeah, absolutely. Once I'd been given that second chance, I really felt that the tsunami was a catalyst for me finding my purpose. I, went on searching for that purpose, and that's why I do what I do now. I help other people to rewire their brains from surviving to thriving, to move from existing to really thriving. 25% of the profits of my business go to charities, especially those communities and those countries that were affected by the tsunami. They've remained very close to my heart. And my mission is to impact the lives of as many people that were killed in the tsunami as an honouring of their loss, because I keep them very close to my heart as a result. I have also written my book, as you mentioned, Tsunami, the wave that saved my life and can save yours. And it's not just an account of the tsunami, but it's about all of the lessons that I learned as a result of that and other major
And on
challenges.
that point, Annie, you're talking about how you're learning, and I haven't managed to speak to too many people about trauma because I've been conscious of trying not to do that. But because you work with trauma, explain to our viewers that it is possible to recover and to work with that, and it's important to address it.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think because I had so much trauma, I made it really kind of like a significant part of my life to help people move through their own trauma. You can really change your neuroplasticity from your surviving part of the brain, the lizard brain, into the kind of sage part of the brain, the kind of wizard part of your brain. And you can do that with just a few different techniques, which I also share in the book as well, that are very simple techniques that everybody can do and everybody can manage in their everyday lives. But yeah, you can definitely move from that kind of like survival instinct and that survival brain into a more thriving kind of place, and where you can really kind of, really experience your best life and, experience peace and joy rather than experiencing the traumatic side of things.
And well, that's great to hear, and I'm sure our viewers will benefit from that too, Annie. And very briefly, we're running out of time. Just tell us about how you mark today.
It's always, I had a prayer at midnight tonight, and, I kept those people that were lost in the wave in my heart. I sent a little prayer to them, and also with a lot of gratitude to that we've survived and we're here to tell the tale and to make the most of our lives mean something and make them count for something in honor of those people that didn't make it. So they're always constantly living through us and through the actions that we have in our everyday life today.
Annie Naqvi, thanks very much indeed for speaking to me on Sky today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.